are live. We have a big show for you today. Big show. Controversial show. Big topic. Sean Strickland walked out of BrandRisk MMA. He stormed out. He said it was absolutely shameful and he hates himself for being there. I was there at the event. I saw exactly what he saw, not just the fights. There was a lot going on with the influencers. I was backstage. I ran into everybody. We're going to get into all that. And the more important question that this leads us to is this the death of MMA? And I'm asking that in a serious manner because guess what? MVP just had a show. Jake Paul is in boxing. Jake Paul is in MMA. People are upset about that. And this seems to be the ongoing trend, which is do whatever you can do to get views, to get clicks, to get clips, put it out there, farm it, clip it, flip it. Is it going to have a toll on UFC? And some people are saying it already has. We're going to get into that ahead of the UFC White House card. What this means, was Conor McGregor the original influencer in MMA? Is he the one responsible for all this? There's some theories behind that. We're going to get into it all. I got Arpon the Dawn hopping in the chat. Let's freaking go. He says real ones in the chat. All right, guys, speaking of real ones, you get your real one shirt. I will drop that link right now. Let me set this up. Let me set this whole freaking thing up, guys. I swear, every fucking night after I get done, I go, oh, I'm going to do better next stream. And then I always fucking forget my shit. So I've got another checklist coming. So I've got some checklists. I got that pin. Get your shirts there. Get your coach. Get your coach paid. Tell your coach to go to StudioMillions.com. Studio Millions will pack the gym full of students who stay, pay, and refer. They'll make a bunch of money and they'll help a lot of people, and you will be the one responsible for it. Send your coach to StudioMillions.com. Also, follow Fight Circus at Fight Circus on Instagram. If you like freak show fights like BrandRisk, you will love Fight Circus. It's even crazier than BrandRisk was. Also, man, shout out to everybody who subscribes. You guys are the real ones. And everybody that has notifications on because I go live every freaking single day, no matter what. And I go live at different times. So if you have notifications on, you can pop into the chat. You can chat with me. I respond in the chat while the channel is still able for me to do that. I just got monetized for super chats. Pretty soon, when the channel's bigger, I'll only be able to respond to super chats. You know how it goes when you get popping on the internet. And also, if you're watching this later, drop a comment and a like. I respond to every comment. And I'm going to do that while the channel's at a place where I still can do that. But it's starting to get to the point where I'm having more and more trouble. So right now is the time if you want to do that. Also, let's get right into it. I don't have any caffeine with me today, guys. I drank all the caffeine in the house. Now I am cooked. I'm cooked. I mercilessly clown people who do not hit 1,000 milligrams of caffeine a day. And here I am, drank all the caffeine in the house. There was only 600 milligrams left. Now, what am I going to freaking do? Okay, we got a super like in the chat. Let's freaking go. John Dong, what's up? Let me read the comments and then we're read the chat and then we're going to get straight into it. John Dong said, what's up? Who you got for Gone versus Pereira? Dude, okay. I'm going to get into that right now before we get into the other stuff. Super Hot Fire by KO round 2 was a fixed prop. Wonder if that crappy rain bet paid out on that. So Ray J is saying that fight was fixed. Dude, I was there. That dude got hit in the head. I was watching that fight with Nick Diaz. And man, there was a couple other people there. So it was me and Nick was giving like play-by-play about. So can you imagine you're sitting there, there's multiple UFC fighters around, and Nick Diaz is in the back doing the play-by-play, right? And yeah, it was crazy. So we're there and we saw Ray J after in person. His head, he was lumped up. And one of the fighters even, that was their exact words. Man, Ray J got lumped up. Okay. So whether or not it was fixed, it did not look fixed to me. It looked like if it were to be fixed, he was not expecting to get cracked like that. He got fucking cracked. He got KO'd. He got frozen in midair and shut down, dude. And I don't think that he would take a shot like that and get frozen like that and get his brain shut off like that for a fixed prop, personally. I think he might have told him, hey, man, we're going to go out there and we're going to move around and we're not going to hurt each other. And then Super Hot Fire was like, yeah, for sure, bro. And then cracked him. So now Ray J went in there thinking it was going to be like a play pretend fight, and it turned into a real fight, and he wasn't expecting that. That's much more likely. Like, he tried to cool it down before the fight. Hey, man, I'm just talking shit because I'm just trying to sell the fight, right? Like, don't really hurt me. And Super Hot Fire was probably like, oh, yeah, bro. Yeah, watch this. John Don, gone. Yeah, Olive Pereira's advantage kind of diminished versus Gone. I fancy Gone quite a bit. Actually, don't see Alex Pereira causing problems that he hasn't seen by much bigger men. Dude, I got Pereira. I got Pereira, guys, simply for the plot. Because I believe, if you haven't seen my Josh Hokit will be champ video, that it's popping off. It's like one of my more trending videos right now. Go watch that after this one. And in that video, I get into a very detailed summary of why Josh Hokit will be champion. We get into like some tactical stuff, some technical stuff, and some positioning stuff that he's doing where he, I believe, will win his fight at the White House. He will call out Alex Pereira, and then we will have the biggest fight forever and ever and ever in the history of the heavyweight division, because John Jones is on the sidelines and Tom Aspinall is being, I guess maybe we call it iced out, while his eyes are healing and his manager wants more money, which is not the best combination if you want to have an active champion. Let me say, I'm going with Gone too. I feel like Pereira struggles a bit when his opponents are fast, like with Khalil. Khalil's faster than Gone, but Gone also won't gas out. Hey, so I rewatched the Khalil Roundtree fight. I didn't think the fight was close. I think Khalil landed one shot that kind of rocked Pereira, and everybody in the emotion of the moment, because it feels like, oh my gosh, he's about to finish him. Is this really going to happen? That feeling makes you go like, oh, he almost finished him. He's about to finish it. Oh shit, Pereira's coming back. Okay. But you still have like Khalil as the person who got closer to finishing the fight until Pereira finished the fight. So that gives the feel of a closer fight. But if you go watch it back, especially with the sound off, no announcers, no announce table, I believe everybody in here will score it for Pereira pretty much, aside from the shot that kind of wobbled him. So anyways, guys, big show. Sean Strickland walked out of, and you guys can keep chatting. I'll pop in the chat too, because we could talk real MMA too. Or if you guys want to talk this, what was it called? BrandRisk. I was there. I forgot that. Right. So shout out to BrandRisk for the complimentary invite-only tickets and the VIP treatment. Shout out to them. So yeah, the Sean Strickland walked out. Man, he said it was shameful, and he was right. He was right. It was shameful, but in addition to being shameful, it was also entertaining. And if you guys have seen any of the videos where I talk about Power Slap, that's where if you want to watch Power Slap, that's where you got to get to. You got to get to the point where you got to say, and this is what helped me start watching Power Slap, these people do not care about their CTE. I cannot care about their CTE more than they do. I'm going to be entertained by this. And so that's the attitude that Power Slap taught me that I took into BrandRisk. Sean Strickland says he hates himself for being there. He said he feels like less of a man for having watched it. He was sick to his stomach, and he's looking himself in the mirror, sick to his stomach, and he feels like he went there to support his friends Nina Drama and Aiden Ross, but he essentially said that it was a shameful event. Having gone there, his dignity's gone. He said there was some good boxing, which there was, and which Nick Diaz was commenting on as well, that the boxing was actually better than most influencer boxing. And, it was pretty decent. Anderson Silva's son boxed, and the guy that boxed Anderson Silva's son came up to Nick after the fight and was getting tips. And Nick was obliging him, showing some stuff that he can work on and some stuff that he did well. So that was super cool to see. The dude was super receptive, super humble, came over, asking for advice, asking for what, we thought that the fight should have been scored. But when you're watching it as an entertainment with a bunch of people coming up to you, talking to you, and there's a lot of cameras going off, and people are, especially Nick, people are like swarming Nick, trying to get selfies and everything like that. Even though you're trying to watch the fight, you don't really have an ability to score the fight accurately. But Nick did say that guy had some good moments, and Anderson Silva's son both had some good moments. So that was really cool to see. And then Strickland agrees it was good boxing. And then he says it got weird. It got really weird. And guys, it did get weird. There were men with titties. These men were not in shape. There were midgets. And I didn't realize that this had happened. Two of the dudes on the card, allegedly, and I haven't verified this, were mentally special needs dudes. And somehow they got them sanctioned to fight. Come on, what are we doing? But so I have a contrarian take on this, because while it was shameful and a lot of the community, the MMA community, is speaking out against this event about how bad it was and how it's terrible for the sport and influencers are horrible and this is the death of MMA and MMA is dying because there's too many UFC cards spread out, so there's not enough look forward to enough aspect of the UFC, because it's just getting saturated with a bunch of fighters that nobody cares about because they have an obligation to Paramount Plus to keep cranking out shows every week. That is allowing for a space for the influencers to do shit shows like this, like crazy fucking wild influencer shit where dudes are pulling up. I believe that allegedly they may have been inebriated or on some form of medication. I'm sure some people's drug tests, if they were drug tested, will pop for drugs. Guaranteed. Because some of those dudes looked like they were geeked out of their mind or fucking drunk. All that. And yeah, so it got real weird. The gentleman with no neck, and he fought the other dude. Super Hot Fire fought Ray J, which Ray J's coming out saying was supposed to be fixed. Like that, like all that is all bad, right? But this is the same thing. Like when I was, like maybe, I don't know, teenager-ish, there was a show called Jackass and like movies, right? And these dudes were performing stunts, so they were like influencers, but on MTV. And I'm sure Strickland or somebody who's like 10, 12 years younger than me probably saw that when they were a child, like as a movie in the theaters or something, right? So this type of thing has always been around. It's just we've democratized the ability to do it with a smartphone, with a camera, with a Wi-Fi connection, with a kick stream. And now we're starting to see what the masses really gravitate towards, right? Now it's survival of the fittest. Now it's what can captivate audiences longer. And I believe that as fucked up as this was, this is going to be a very, very highly viewed event over time. I was there. I'm getting clipped up in stuff. Marab, he may have hip tossed me onto the concrete, guys. He may have hip tossed me on the concrete. And Marab's so fucking nice that he went to pull the hip toss and not throw me. And I'm like, no, throw me. Because I saw a camera, right? And I'm like, throw me, I'll land. And I know how to break fall. So if he throws me on concrete, I'm like, this will be good for the camera. The problem is his mic was so good, he picks me up going, throw me, bro. We're trying to clip farm with the clip farmers, guys. So that was funny. And then, that clip is going around. What's his name? Captain America, Henry Cejudo's coach. He comes over. He doesn't know that Marab and I know each other. He's trying to break it up. You know what I'm saying? He's got Marab's back. And then Marab's like, no, this is my boy. We train together and all that. And Marab and I don't train together as frequently as we used to, because we used to be at the same gym. I'm at Extreme Couture now, and he rarely comes over, but when he does, we get rounds together. And Captain America's like, bro, oh shit, okay, I thought you were an influencer trying to choke Marab or something. I was like, no, I told him to get in my guard, bro. I told him to get in my guard. So I actually pulled guard on the concrete as like a kind of joke about being a jiu-jitsu black belt. Oh, speaking of which, my name is King David MMA. I'm a pro MMA champion, Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt coach at Extreme Couture. So there you go. They needed to adjust that time for the East Coast. Fell asleep twice, but was entertained. Yeah, dude. So the card, as crazy as it was entertaining. They built it up, and man, when I'm saying some clips are going viral, these guys are getting views. So it's a different view than a Netflix viewer. It's a clip view. It's a viral moment. It's, dude, Ray J's forehead. You know what I'm saying? People are, the internet is going to internet, right? And instead of black pilling on that, I choose the white pill on that. I'm like, hey, guess what, man? This is more opportunity for everybody. It's bringing more money in the sport. And as bad as people can say it is, there's an audience for that. It's not the same audience as MMA. So when people are saying like this is the death of MMA, the influencers are starting to put on shows after shows after shows. The Jake Pauls, the Aiden Rosses, all of that. I don't believe that that has any conflict with the top stars in MMA because there's always going to be an audience for the best. And whether or not, Ilya Taporia and Justin Gaethje are going to wear shirts of each other's ex-girlfriends to the press conference, which they're not going to do, which Super Hot Fire did, where he wore a Kim Kardashian shirt to go the face off with Ray J, and then Ray J's saying, you got a bitch on your shirt who's sucking my dick, blah, 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 blah. Right? They're not going to do that. But that's a different audience, right? So in my head, I'm like, this is cool. Marab's up there kick streaming. Rampage is up there kick streaming. Rampage is making more money kick streaming than he did in his entire UFC career. So how could we be mad about that? Right? Hey, if all the influencers want to pull up and they want to do stunts and they want to send those views to Rampages, Marabs, let's say I go start kicking, right? I will take some of those views, run it up, right? Like, let's run it the fuck up, right? So if these dudes want an engagement farm, I say let them, and then it can be a almost legacy program, like a plan for those fighters that want to be a part of that. And there's different ways to do it, right? You don't have to, like Rampage does the crash outs. Rampage reacts to people who have memed him or AI'd him, and he crashes out, right? That's one style. Marab is going to go get in a man-on-man hot tub with Neon. Neon said, we're not going to do any fighting. We're going to have fun like kids, right? And then he's like, okay, we go here, we go there. We will ride scooters. Maybe we'll go in jacuzzi. And then Marab's like, oh, we'll bring girls to the jacuzzi. And then Neon's like, no, no girls, no girls, no girls. And then Marab says, I believe it was Marab that said this. He goes, boys. But Marab is like speaking like males, right? He doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna get some dudes together and they're gonna get in the jacuzzi, okay? Right? And so there's a market for that. You want to see Neon and Marab in a hot tub together? There's a market for that, right? And if you don't fuck with that, change the channel. So Strickland did say it was shameful, but Strickland stood on business and Strickland bounced, right? So there's a market for that, right? If it's not for you, maybe you bounce, right? And I think that Strickland bouncing for actually the amount of his personality that I've engaged with in real life, I would say that's the correct thing for him to do because some of the shit that was going on there, not the shit in the ring. The shit in the ring is just the tip of the iceberg. It was a fucking shit show, right? Like in the stands, 6ix9ine's trying to take down Arman Sarukian. You know what I mean? Arman Sarukian fucking snaps him onto the concrete, bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a fucking train wreck. Keep in mind, I believe, and I could be wrong, I don't know. It seemed like 6ix9ine might have been a little tipsy, and I could be misreading the situation. But he's tipsy. He's trying to take down, the number one contender essentially in the UFC for the lightweight championship of the world. And he gets face planted on the concrete, you know what I mean? With $1 million of jewelry on, right? Where else are you going to see that at, right? So that's a spectacle. But at the same time, yeah. My guy, Sports Sharp 42412 says 6ix9ine was drunk as fuck. Yeah, I don't know that to be true or not. I just thought that, right? Like that's the vibe I got. And I was in the back with him. You know what I mean? I was in the back with him. He was super fucking cool to me. I see a lot of crazy shit on the internet about the dude. I see wild stories that I don't know if they're true or not. I know he just got out of jail for something. I don't remember what he was in jail for or not. Like I don't know anything about that. I just know that when I was in the back, 6ix9ine was cool as fuck to me. And oftentimes when you meet ultra celebrities, you get a sense of, oh, that's why this person's a celebrity. So one of the things that I also noticed is there's the ultra, ultra, ultra VIP room. That's where we were at with Steve Will Do It, 6ix9ine, Bradley Martin, Neon, Rampage. Yeah, all that. And what I noticed the difference between the energy in that room, Larry Wheels was in there, Palm Beach Pete, who everybody there doesn't believe that's Pete, which is fucking nuts, right? And I met the dude and it was really fucking weird, really weird. I believe it's Pete. Okay. I think it's the fucking strangest coincidence ever. I believe his name's Pete from birth. I believe that's Pete. But it was fucking weird. It was it's hard to explain the level of weirdness that was meeting that dude. He didn't give off a Pete energy. He didn't give off a Palm Beach Pete energy. He gave off a fucking a real fucking cool, arrogant billionaire energy. Like nothing could touch him energy. I'm not getting into it. I believe it's Pete. So I'm not trolling. I'm not saying that because the YouTube rather. I genuinely believe it's a dude named Pete. Because like somebody today saw that I was with him and they sent me the teeth of the other guy and Palm Beach Pete. And the teeth, they're like, these teeth match. And to me, they look like they don't match. They don't match. Right. Also, I was with him and I think that he looks a lot like him, but I would believe that he has some marks on his face. Particularly if I remember correctly, on the left side of his face, it looks like he has a skin colored mole. I don't know if the other dude did or not, but I remember seeing that and going like, oh, if the other dude doesn't have that, I would imagine that that would prove that these are two different people. Anyways, I'm in the back. All these dudes are there. And the reason why I'm saying is there's a different aura in the back versus in the next level of the seating is that it was a very collaborative energy in the VIP, whereas there was a more competitive energy in the like the hallway and the seating area. So the lesson that one could extrapolate from that if one wanted to would be like, oh, the guy with 60,000 followers who's trying to make it is trying to make someone else look bad to get their stream to look good. The guy with 6 million followers is trying to make you look good on their stream with their audience so that you want to work with them more and more and more and do more streams together. And by doing that, even if they look bad, now the other people want to work with them and now they have a collaboration. It's a collaborative energy. The other one is like a competitive energy. Like, hey, I want to get views for my channel, so I'm going to throw you under the bus. Well, guess what? That guy's never going to come back on your channel again. Whereas, let's say Larry Wheels, he pulled up to Extreme Couture. He grappled my teammate Kobe the Don and he grappled my teammate Justin James, and they both choked him, right? But they both want to work with him again. They're willing to teach him, right? Because he's putting them out there, right? They're getting clip farmed, they're getting exposure, they're gaining benefit from Larry Wheels' stream. And Larry Wheels was willing to make them look good to his audience, even if it made Larry look bad in the short term. Now, we're getting off on a fucking tangent, but I would take that as a life lesson from having been there personally. And moving forward, I'm going to actively remember to implement that. So that's just something that I fucking noticed there that I thought was very interesting. And when you're in the back with the ultra celebs, you can feel it. You can see why they're famous, right? So that's my take on 6ix9ine. That's a tangent on him potentially being tipsy or not. But anyways, yeah. So Strickland also said that he was there. He saw the streamers with the massive followings, and he had a moment of reflection where he realized that these people he's looking at are the next generation of Americans. And it was so sad for him to realize that they are going to inherit America. And in one way, I think a lot of us kind of can relate to that, the essence of that energy, where it's like, oh wow, this is a complete shit show. And there's people being famous for doing the wrong thing. There's people being famous for, if everybody did that, society would destruct. You know what I mean? Society would crumble. So not everybody, so that's why that is bad, because that's, so there's a statement that if it's like true in the mean, it's true in the extreme, right? So it, like, something has to hold up, you know? And so if this behavior were good, then if everybody did it, everybody would benefit. But if this behavior would not benefit everyone, if everyone did it, then that behavior is by nature bad. So I believe that's what Strickland is seeing, that there's a lot of like bad behavior that if everybody replicates, then society goes to complete shit, right? Now, there's not a direct solution to that, which is, you know what I'm saying, why dudes like Gandhi and shit said, be this change you want to see, which I believe, in a way, Strickland was doing. Strickland bounced out. He said, hey, I'm not going to be a part of this, right? Popped out. So he, I believe Strickland genuinely cares about people and cares about America. And he said it's so bad that he just wants to see it stop, right? And unfortunately, we're not going to see it stop. So I believe that there is like almost like a wave of shit's crazy, 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 crazy. And then it's like, dude, we're sick of seeing that. And then shit goes to a different, like, authentic, 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 authentic. And then it's like crazier, 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 crazier. And so things happen in like kind of waves, if that makes any sense. So, for instance, Conor McGregor, right? Some people would say Conor McGregor is the start of all this in MMA, where like Chael kind of had some promos, but MMA wasn't like mainstream enough for Chael to really cause like mass global fucking memes or change or whatever. And Conor struck at the right time, where the internet was like about to like peak and almost like plateau to where it's at right now, where it's like the fucking internet, you know what I mean? And there's like meme culture, and there's clips, and there's, you know, shorts and reels, and Conor said some crazy shit about Khabib and his father. And I'm pretty sure everybody feels that that was like dark and too far, right? So extremity, shocking for the sake of being shocking, for being sake of being extreme, that's called gratuitous, right? So it's essentially doing it for the sake of doing it, right? There's no added benefit. Conor could have had the same global effect by being witty and charismatic as he did by being really dark with Khabib and his father's passing, RIP. And that to me is a great example of how things seem to be popular because they're extreme, but they're actually popular for something different than the extremity of it. Because when you isolate the parts that are not, let's say in this case, clever or witty or charming or charismatic, and you have the extremity for the sake of being extreme only left, the meanness for the sake of being mean, not the like, hey, I'm going to be funny, and if it happens to be mean, I don't give a fuck, right? Like there's a difference, because the intent is funny. The intent over here is like, I'm going to talk about your deceased father, RIP, right? Like that's fucked up. Everybody agrees. I believe everybody has a common humanity in them that doesn't want to see that, right? So somebody else will take the lesson is like, oh, you got to be crazier and crazier and crazier. But at a certain point, like a lot of that isn't what people want. Like the dude that was going out and had a gun and was calling people all kinds of racial names, like that's a little bit too far for even the most far people on the internet, right? Like some of the most extreme dudes on the internet are like, bro, that's not even what the message is, dog. You know what I'm saying? And then the other side of those extreme dudes really isn't into it. You know, and so like everybody can kind of like set a boundary together. So right now, I feel like talent will always win out. And oftentimes, the first person to do the shocking thing, like the hot tour girl, right? You guys haven't thought about that girl in I don't know how long, but for a minute, she was the hottest meme on the planet. Oh my gosh, everybody's sending it laughing, right? But like she didn't actually have like a consistent talent, right? So she got an opportunity, and her opportunity lasted as long as her talent did. So I believe that with this influencer culture, the actual better influencers, like for instance, let's take Steve Will Do It, man. Steve Will Do It's like giving money away to people. He's like doing good shit, you know? And while some of his stuff is clickbaity, while some of his stuff is controversial, you know, he's also like donating a lot of fucking money to charity. You know what I mean? And so to me, that's more the not always going to be what gets views, but if you can have something that is multi-layered and can touch people like on a human level, in it doesn't always have to be shock, 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 right? Like, because then that gets played out, right? It's called like desensitization to stimulus, right? So the same way, if someone is scared of heights, you can like take them up a stair, they get used to it, take them up 2 stairs, they get used to it, take them, and then pretty soon they're at the top of the fucking skyscraper and they're cool and they're not like having a panic adrenaline response. Progressive desensitization, right? So if we take that same approach to shocking, shock, 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 everybody gets desensitized, and now the shock crashes, and then someone needs like authentic, 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 and then we have people inauthentically trying to be authentic, like, guys, I wanted to make this authentic video to show you my genuine, like, then they're right. You get what I'm saying, right? So there's almost like a wave to ride of it, and I feel like the most talented people have a wide variety of charisma that can navigate different peaks and valleys of waves. So that's what I get out of the whole influencer thing. I believe that most of the people who were in the ultra VIP, that were the ultra successful streamers, rappers, fighters, there was a very, very, very collaborative energy. And if you take anything away from this stream, even with the clickbait ass title I made, right? It's that I believe collaboration always wins. So if you guys want to collaborate with your boy, I'm looking to connect. Hit the subscribe button and turn the notifications on. I go live every night, but I go live at different times. So if you want to make sure you're on here so we can chat in the chat, I like it to be a dialogue, not just a monologue. Then go ahead and drop a chat and have your notifications on so you can hit the next live. Also, make sure you like and comment and, share the shit if you feel it. You know what I mean? And for those of you guys that are talking about the heavyweight division in the UFC, go peep the Josh Hokett video. I break it down. And if you guys aren't convinced that Josh Hokett will be champ, you very well might be after you watch that video. Go watch that video and tell me he won't be champion. Anyways, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's stream. I love you. Have a great night and collaborate with somebody, guys. Let's go.